Hello and welcome to your 7th Django tutorial. Anyhow, while we speak about Heroku, we're going to go ahead and upload to Heroku today. So I'm going to take you through the steps of doing that. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is go over to Heroku.com and get a free account. Heroku.com. Now, Heroku's free for developers if your app's not getting much traffic and you have less than 10,000 rows of data. Once your traffic starts increasing or you got more than 10,000 rows of data, you got to start paying for more storage or more processors. But for now, it will be free. And the reason I choose Heroku, and I always try to point my clients to it, is the easiest to work with when you're building a Django application. Now you can use there's several different options out there for running a Django application. When you get away from Heroku, it gets a little tricky, a little bit more difficult to work with, but it's still possible. So in this tutorial series, since Master Code Online is going to be on Heroku, we're just going to concentrate on that. In a future tutorial series, I'll walk you through other options that you may need, because you do need a tutorial to upload Django, most cases, I should say. So let's get started. Create a free account, pause the video, and go ahead and create your free account over here. Alright, now that you're back after creating your free account, go to CLI Heroku, and this is the command line interface. We need this to work with Heroku, so go ahead and click on Heroku CLI. And if you click on Downloads Install, for Mac you can either run brew install Heroku, or you can click on the graphical installer. Also, Windows 32-bit or 64-bit, go ahead and pick your system and install. Alright, now that you got it installed, let's go over to your terminal and let's run Heroku -- version, and you should see a version. Mine's a little out of date, but that's okay because it will still work. But you should see a version here, or right here. Should see a version. If not, then you didn't install it properly, and go back to that page we're on, and it explains to you the proper steps to install it. Next thing we want to do is get and log into Heroku. So it's going to be Heroku login, like this, and it's going to ask you for your email address. Mine's tommyers2@yahoo.com. If you guys have any questions, you can email me there. Hit return, and then add your password. Do not add mine, because mine's just a bunch of asterisks. And it probably wouldn't work. There you go. Alright, so now we're logged in to Heroku. Let's go ahead and create a Heroku application. To do that, we just do Heroku create. Alright. And that will create an application for us. Right here is our app name, Frozen Bayou. I don't know if that's possible to have a Frozen Bayou. But anyway, next thing is your URL right here. This will be our URL until we add our own domain name. But for now, this will be our URL. And this is our app name right here. Alright, cool. Next thing, let's clear our screen, Command K. And let's run git add git commit -m, and we'll call this first deploy. And yours is probably going to be different than mine. I've been messing around with mine before I did this tutorial, so things will be a little different. Alright, so one last thing after we deploy is we're going to run git push Heroku master. Now, with these git commands, you might want to jot them down, because we're going to run them so often that, you know, it would be easier for you to memorize. Do what you want, but we always run git add, git commit, and then when we want to push it to Heroku, it's git push Heroku master. Alright, so we're going to run this, and it's going to go ahead and upload our project to Heroku. And as it's going through it, you'll see it installing packages, like it's installing Python right now, and then we'll install our Django database URL, Postgres, white noise, Unicorn. So it's going to go ahead and install all that. Now, we had an issue. And the way I know we have an issue is says push failed. Push rejected. Alright, so we had a rejected push. So if you scroll up, most of the time, Heroku is going to kick back why it failed. So the best way to do that is find the last successful, and right here, successfully installed Django. Then go below it, and local settings failed. That's normal because we put that in our settings file. Post-processing of CSS bootstrap.min.css failed. Alright, so something with our CSS file failed. So let's go see what that's all about. And my one goal with this tutorial is not to stop the videos and fix the problem on my own. It's to walk you through dealing with an everyday error. Right here is CSS file, CSS bootstrap min.css references a file which cannot be found. Fonts, glyphicons, halflings, regular. So that has to do with our glyphicons. In our database, I know I'm not saying that right, but that's how I pronounce it. I'm sorry. So what is the issue? Let's go ahead and take a look at our CSS file, our bootstrap min, and look up fonts. Alright, here's our issue right here. We don't have these fonts in our static file, so when it goes and looks for them, it can't find it and throws an error. And I talked about this in the previous tutorial. If Heroku runs collect static and looks for a file it can't find, it's going to kick back an error. And here's our issue. Now, how are we going to fix this? You got two options. We could either just delete these out and not use the glyphicons, or we could download them and put them in a static file. Let's do that. Alright, let's be proper here. Normally I'd just delete them because, like I've said before, I'm freaking lazy. But we might want them later. So create a directory inside your static file called fonts. Alright, now we're going to go to our browser and we're going to do get bootstrap. Go to getting started. Go down to our Jumbotron again. Click on Jumbotron. Right click on view page source. And then we're going to go to bootstrap min. Alright, so from this point right here, if you guys can see that, actually this point, we're going to go ahead and paste in our fonts from this point over. And what it's going to do is download these files for us into our download folder or wherever you have your download set up to. And when it does that, we're just going to move them into our fonts folder. Alright, so let's go back into our text editor, and from here to here, copy that. Go back into our browser, again, paste these, and hit enter, and that should start a download. It did. Alright, next one. We're going to go to the next one, do this again. I know this is pretty boring, but hey, you gotta know how to do this stuff if you want to get stuff done. So go ahead and do that. And we'll go to the next one here. Copy. And boom. Hit the next one. Back again. We got 3 more. Copy. Boom. Next one. 2 more. Copy. Boom. And the last one. paste that in. Well, that one didn't download. Interesting. Fonts. Alright, we'll figure that one out in a second. So go into your downloads folder via Finder. Wait for my Finder to open. And downloads. I don't know why we have two of them, so we'll take that one out. If you have two of them, then remove one. And we're going to go ahead and copy these. Shift and click. Copy. And then go to your desktop. Django. Master. Source. Static. Fonts. And paste 4 items. There we go. Now, we have one issue. The last one we ran, this one right here, didn't download for some reason. So let's go ahead and copy the name of it. We'll copy that. And we're just going to come in and create a file. Name that. This one may or may not work. But let's go to our fonts, right-click, create a new file. And we're just going to name that like this. This way, I'm gonna see how this names it out. Hold on. I had to click on text, but I don't want it ending in text. It doesn't end in text. Alright, cool. As long as we have the name, Heroku's gonna take it as that's what we want. Alright, so let's go ahead and run Heroku again. First we gotta do git add period git commit -m, and we're gonna say fixed CSS, and then we're going to do git push Heroku master, and this is going to upload it. We shouldn't have any issues at this point. We have failed. What the hell? Cannot find fonts. Alright, so we missed one somewhere, apparently. I'm not even see that one in here, so let's look for it. So go ahead and take that out and go to crap here. Let's make sure it's in Bootstrap first. So we'll go up. Bootstrap min fonts, and this one's apparently a failure. So we're going to go in here to our text editor, put it up here, paste it, and see where that's at. It's right here. Alright, so that was the one we just added. So we're going to rename that. Fonts. Refactor rename. And we're just going to take this £. Oh, what the hell I did there. Take from the £, and remove that. And alright, let's try this again. Git add period git commit fix CSS and git push Heroku master. Hopefully this works, because otherwise I'm going to be very frustrated. looks like it worked. So what we're going to do, once it's done here, we're going to go ahead and open up our URL right here. Copy that URL, go to your browser, and clear all this crap out. And we're going to go ahead and paste. Alright, we got an application error, and I was expecting that application error, and that's because we haven't ran the database, migrate the database on Heroku itself, on our production server. So, clear screen, Command K, and the next thing we want to do is Heroku run python manage.py migrate. Anytime we want to run a command that we're using, like python manage.py, we use Heroku run if we want to run it on our development server. So it's going to go ahead and run this command. And these warnings, just disregard them. I know I mentioned it before, but my command line interface is out of date, and I'll fix that shortly after this video. Alright, so if you got local settings failed, ignore that. That has to do with our local settings file that we put the try statement on. Then we got admin, authentication, content type, sessions. They're all migrated. Great. Well, let's go ahead and refresh our browser. Alright, so we still have an application error. I don't know why we have that, so let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and open up Heroku, and you're going to sign into your account. And what Heroku provides you with is a great tool for application errors. It log files, so it logs your application, every change that you make to your application. So we're going to go back and look in the back end to see if there's any indication of what our error could be. So let's go check that out. Here's Frozen Bayou. Let's go ahead and look at that. And if you right click on more, view logs, and the last couple, the orange here is indicating an error, and if you look, it says that our code H10. Now if you Google Heroku H10, you're going to get a list of error codes that Heroku uses. H10 is the most generic. Basically it says server fail. So it doesn't really help us. So another option we can do is we can run Heroku Local Web, and what this is going to do is run our upload that we just uploaded to Heroku locally, and this will actually kick back errors if there is an error. So let's see what it says. No ENV file found. That's no big deal. Usage unicorn. There's an error in the argument, basically, is what this says. Unicorn error argument. Expected one argument. We did set a proc file, correct? Yeah, we got a proc file. Web unicorn master.wsgi log file. We never ended the argument. So =, hyphen is going to solve that problem for you. So back to your terminal. Git add period git commit manage message shift our string. We'll just say fixed proc. Alright, and then git push Heroku master. I hope you guys are learning something through this debug process, because things like this happen occasionally, like typos. I am the king of typos, especially when I'm trying to teach and type at the same time. So no errors there. Alright, let's go back and check our application. It says build succeeded, state changed from crash to starting process. These local settings failed. They are normal messages because that's in our settings file. State change to starting up. Alright, so basically we got a good start here. Let's see. We still have a bad request. 400. What in the world did I do to this thing? Let's do Heroku Local Web again. See if it shows us an error. Click allow. I'm going to copy this URL right here. This is the local run. Let's see if we got any indication what the problem could be. Well, I can tell you our CSS files aren't working because that's not what our website's supposed to look like. Let's look at the settings file real quick. Our CSS file is not working. Let's see. That wouldn't give us a 400 error though. Oh, it's static. Or allowed host, I should say. Allowed host. We gotta set that if the debug's set to false, which I forgot to set. So open up your. I need my URL. Right here, Frozen Bayou. Don't take the HTTPS or the ending / We're going to go ahead and copy that. And we're just going to... Where did my thing go? There we go. We're just going to paste it in. Whoop. What the hell? Wow. It's one of those days, huh? Alright, hold on. I didn't copy it apparently. So Command C and Command Paste. There we go. Alright, so we needed that. Let's see if everything else looks right because our static files is not showing up. But that wouldn't have anything to do with this. Put a comma here. I mean, I don't think that would mean anything, but I always put a comment inside a list. Let's run it again and see if that works. Control C to kill the local server. I'm going to have to push it again. There we go. And then we're going to do git add period get commit message fix allowed host. Then we're going to do git push Heroku master. I hope from you guys seeing this, you would, in the future, when you're working on your own projects, you see these errors. It help you to figure these out a little bit quicker. So let's go ahead and refresh our project here and see what happens. Alright, cool. We still have no CSS. Right click, view page source, and click on a static file. Not found. Static CSS. I don't think that'd be a problem. Well, let's go ahead and run. It did click static, but let's run Heroku run Python manage.py collect static and see if this is, if it didn't collect the static properly. Just type yes. Let's refresh and see if that was the issue. No, that was not the issue. What the hell? Static. Paster, static files. Static. Well, let's run collect static locally and see if that was the problem. Python manage.py collect static. And then we're just going to run Python manage.py. No. Let's run git add period git commit -m and collect static Python manage. Git. I don't think this was the problem. Git push Heroku master. Everything's up to date, so that wasn't our issue. I'm just going to pause the video. I'm not going to do anything that I wouldn't show you. I'm just going to sit here and think about it for a second. Alright, so I've been sitting here thinking about it. We missed a step in our previous tutorial setting up for Heroku, our web server gateway interface. We forgot to, maybe not, yeah, so what I was trying to say, I thought we were missing this line right here, but we're not. Let's try from white noise .django import Django white noise, whoops, and then application. Right below here, let's do application. Set that equal to Django, white noise, and application. Now, I don't think that's our issue, but it's worth a shot, alright? Commit WSGI. Git push Heroku master. I'm just looking to see if there's any other options that we might have missed. And let's go ahead and run our server. Browser. Refresh. Boom, there we go. There we go. 30 minutes tutorial. It could have been 15, but I hope you guys learned something in troubleshooting or debugging your project. That's my goal here. I don't want to show you, like, you know, me being perfect all the time by pausing the video. You guys gain nothing from that. So My goal here was to show you guys how to break down errors, and I will continue to do that throughout the tutorial series, so hopefully you guys learn more than you expect you did. Anyhow, there's our fix. We have it now up on Heroku and running. And our next tutorial, just give me a second here, we are going to create our first app. There's no more settings, so we actually get into the coding stuff now. I'll see you in the next tutorial.